My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake.
Oh, here we go. Mic's up.
Welcome. Today is Jay's fault. I jacked him up just before the mic's up cue. It's his fault today. I was good. All right, well, welcome. Happy South Lake morning. Man, I love Christmas time, dude. I just can't get over how much I love this time of year. Just a good time to be around people. People just seem, a little nicer, a little less willing to get upset about stuff. Even myself, when I'm driving behind somebody who should be an idiot and I'm really mad, I tend to think, you know what? Calm down, Joe. It's Christmas. He's probably stressed out or he's worried about something. I can put myself in the other guy's shoes far more this year. And that's kind of what Christmas is all about. And you know what? We're going to talk about Christmas and all sorts of holiday or holy day celebrations today. What do we have for you today? Well, we're going to talk about Kwanzaa, where it comes from and why it's important. We're going to talk about Hanukkah, or more properly pronounced, as my Jewish friends would say, Hanukkah. They had me doing it right the other day. Hanukkah. Something along those lines. I need a lot of work. We're going to talk about the miracle it's based on, how long it lasts, what it all means. We're going to talk about Christmas sacrifice on the Cup of Joe today. Really important segment for you to stay tuned for. And finally, the big day. I think I'm so happy because my dear friend Santa Claus is carving some time out of his busy schedule today. We're going to bring him into the studio by FaceTime because, of course, he has an iPhone. Duh, he's Santa Claus. And we're going to FaceTime him and ask questions that your children or children from the local community have asked. Look, if you have not gotten onto my list, go ahead and ask a question in the comments section. I don't promise that we'll get to it because we have to catch it. But if we do, we'll go ahead and try to fit it in. With that said, we're going to go to commercial break and hear from the best presents that I've ever gotten, our sponsors. And when that's all done, we'll be back and we'll get started. See you in a minute.
Welcome to Erica's Tea Room. Located in the heart of downtown Claremont, this specialty tea shop offers a traditional high tea experience that can be enjoyed with family and friends. While here, you can choose from over 100 teas from all over the world, and a multitude of teapots are available for purchase. Join us for lunch or choose from one of our special evening events. Call to make a reservation. Erica's Tea Room, making memories with every cup.
Burgerum, located in the Epic Theater Shopping Plaza on Highway 27, is the premier destination for gourmet burgers. Using only the freshest ingredients, Burgerum offers a variety of burgers, salads, wings, and a whole lot more. Beef, chicken, lamb, fish, and even veggie. Burgerum has something for everyone, no matter your dietary preference. Burgerum, millions of possibilities, endless combinations.
Hello, I'm Mary Rhodes with the Mortgage Firm, your local mortgage lender. I've helped thousands of families achieve the dream of homeownership in Lake County, and I would love to help you. Our team has over 30 years of experience helping first-time homebuyers, veterans, move-up buyers, seasoned investors, and more. Please read our reviews and visit us at mortgagefirmpros.com.
Once again, welcome back. Love to hear from my sponsors. I just had to write down as I was watching her ad, Mary Rhodes, get together with my dear friend, catch up with her. If you're even thinking about buying a house next year, you should be talking to Mary. You should give her a call before the first of the year. Do it today. Give her a call, because if you're thinking about it, you don't know what hurdles you might have to overcome. As a realtor, the biggest mistake I see people make is they wait until they want to make the purchase to start talking about the mortgage. You should start looking at your mortgage possibilities 6 to 9 months before you're actually ready to buy a house. So reach out to Mary. She has all the answers that you need. We talk about Erica's Tea Room, a great place to spend some holiday time over the next couple of weeks. Look, let's face it, a good number of you have a lot of downtime over the next couple of weeks. Get into Erica's. See what she has to offer, and still time to buy a great gift. She has a lot of retail stuff, a lot of really cool stuff in there. Get in there. And Burgerim, as you know what, actually, I was watching that ad. I think I'm going to switch my lunch appointment from Panera Bread today over to Burgerim, just because I was watching that ad. I started craving their fries. All right, enough about me. Let's get started. Okay. You know, whenever this time of year comes up, and 2 other holidays around Christmas come up as well. It's Kwanzaa and Hanukkah. I wanted to talk about them today. I want to talk about them, each of them individually. Let's look at Kwanzaa before I give you my take on this. I looked up right on Google, what is Kwanzaa and why is it celebrated? Again, coming from Google. Kwanzaa is an African-American celebration of life from 26 December to 1 January. Dr. Mulana Karenga introduced the festival in 1966 to the United States as a ritual to welcome the first harvest to the home. Dr. Karenga created this festival for African Americans as a response to the commercialism of Christmas. Look, this festival really got popular in the 90s, and over the last 40 years, 60 years now, something like that, 60 years. It has, is it quite 60 years, Jay? Yes, it's 60 years, 66. 50 years. Anyways, long time. It has come to be guided by 7 core principles. It has its own traditions. And a lot of people say that this is just a PC holiday. Okay, it was just a response by people who wanted to create something that wasn't white. And what was the problem with it? Christmas was for black people as well as white people, and there were black people who didn't feel represented by Christmas. You know, that if you were a Muslim, you could celebrate Kwanzaa. Look, my take on all this is, as a Christian, okay, and I am a born-again Christian, I love Christmas. I love the celebration of the Savior's birth, okay? But as a Christian, if you really want to celebrate Christmas, it's not about you. It's not about what you think. Okay? It's about how you can love others. And if somebody else feels more comforted by the celebration of their heritage through Kwanzaa, which is based on harvest festivals of Africa, it shouldn't bother you. It shouldn't matter. Okay? What's wrong with including somebody else in celebrations? Okay? Frankly, I didn't really think this was important, in all honesty, until recently when I was watching a television show and a commentator, one of the hosts of the show, who was an African American, got really choked up that somebody had included the concept of Kwanzaa into the holiday season. You know, that kind of thing is important to a lot of people. And all I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter what heart was that created it, okay? What matters is it's important to people. And as far as I'm concerned, Christmas isn't about me. It's about the people in my circle and in my sphere that I'm supposed to love. So that's my take on Kwanzaa. If you have African-American friends that celebrate this, please encourage them. Sit down, have a cup of coffee, learn something about somebody else. Find out about the traditions and maybe how they celebrate it. Heck, maybe you can take part. All right, that's enough about Kwanzaa. Moving on to Hanukkah. Hanukkah, very, very old tradition. It is a Jewish holiday. can be celebrated, and many Christians actually celebrate Hanukkah as well. There is a rich Hebraic root church tradition. So there are a lot of Christian churches out there that believe in following the Hebraic roots of Christianity. And some people just like the concept of Hanukkah. And I know growing up in the North and being an actor in New York, there are American Hanukkah traditions and ways people celebrate it. Hanukkah is actually the celebration of it. Again, Wikipedia, it is a Jewish festival commemorating the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem at the time of the Maccabean revolt against Greeks and Romans. What it comes down to is this festival actually it is marked, typically we understand the menorah. I believe the menorah is a 9-tiered candle holder. The miracle that it's supposed to represent has a lot to do with this. The Jewish tradition is very steeped in history. Most of their festivals actually celebrate some event in their history. In this particular case, they had been not Jerusalem. I think it was Jerusalem. The temple had been taken over at a time in history when they were taken by the Syrians. One king allowed the practice of the Jewish religion. When he died, his son didn't. It was a time of oppression. They desecrated the temple. This revolt really kind of took back the temple. And while there was a siege, they only had enough. The menorah's significance is that it represents what Jews consider a miracle, in that they thought they only had enough oil to operate a candle for one night, and that oil lasted for 8 days. And it's why Jewish people use a menorah to celebrate this event. Again, very important to them. It takes place over a period of days and actually changes sometimes if they're following the Jewish calendar. Sometimes this can happen in November. In 2019, this will go on. Hanukkah will be celebrated from sunset, the 22nd of December, to nightfall, the 30th of December. So, 8-day-long festival. If you have Jewish friends, I make the same suggestion. Find out a little bit about somebody else. Ask them about their traditions and their memories of celebrating this. You may find that you don't know as much about the holidays as you think you do. Now, I'm a big fan of saying Merry Christmas, not Happy Holidays. But it doesn't mean I disrespect other people's traditions and representations. You know, it's important, again, to remember that it's not about you. It's about somebody else. And that brings me to the Cup of Joe today. You know, I remember when I was in the Marine Corps, one of my starkest memories of Christmas was I was in Beirut, Lebanon, and I was in literally a foxhole, a trench dug in the sand, about 5.5 feet deep. Considering I'm 6 feet tall, that's not a good thing. You spend a lot of time crouching. There was a lot of firing going on. The day before Christmas, there was a major battle going on in the city. I was on the perimeter of the airport. The Marine Corps was trying to keep the airport open. This was, I'm trying to think. I think it might have been in 1983, 82 or 83. At any rate, the thing that I remember about it, and the thing that today still makes my hair stand on end, is when midnight hit and it was actually Christmas, all the shooting stopped. I mean, these guys have been shooting at each other, bombing each other. At night, when you're watching a battle, you can see tracers and bullets in the path of the bullets from one building to the next. You can see the flashes of bombs and grenades going off. And they had been fighting all day. But at midnight, it stopped. It became completely still. That lasted for a couple of seconds. I mean, maybe even a couple of minutes. And then everybody started shooting straight up in the air. Both sides, the Muslims and the Christians. I knew in that moment that there was something about Christmas. It was a universal celebration of life and a second chance. Now, a lot of people would say that I was making a sacrifice. And I want to encourage you to remember that, it had never occurred to me until I was there that there were people that weren't sitting around a Christmas tree enjoying some hot chocolate or coffee on Christmas morning. They weren't scrambling Christmas Eve to find presents. I was a young 20-year-old man. I had never thought that way. Today, as an older guy and as a veteran, I realize there's a lot of people on the pointy end of the spear. There's a lot of young men and young women out there today who are not going to be home for Christmas. They're not going to be home for New Year's. They weren't home for Thanksgiving. They're doing their duty. They're serving their country. They're stepping up and making the world safe, not just for Americans, but for oppressed people everywhere, for people who don't enjoy freedom everywhere. And you know what? Right in your own community, there are cops and firemen and nurses and doctors who are going to be doing the same thing, sacrificing their Christmas day so that you can be safe and well cared for. So here's what I want to ask you to do. My challenge for you today, my Cup of Joe challenge, I want you to write this down. Put it in your phone. Set an alarm in your phone for Christmas Day. All of those people have families. So if you know somebody that's got a son or a husband or a mom or a wife or a daughter who is serving overseas, a cousin who is serving overseas, who isn't going to be around the tree today, Christmas is a little different for them. Christmas could be a time not necessarily of joy and celebration and ease, but it may be a time of worry and stress. I'm going to encourage you to set your alarm, send them a text of encouragement, give them a call, wrap your arms around them. Day before Christmas, take them out to coffee. Heck, day after Christmas, do the same thing. Remember, Christmas isn't about you. It's about your ability to love those around you. And in my opinion, the way God loved us, sending us his son so that we could have a life and not pay for the consequences of our sins. Anyways, that's Cup of Joe for today. I really want to thank you for paying attention to that. Now, when we're going to hear from our sponsors again, and when we get back, we're going to talk to my dear, dear friend of many, many years, the big guy himself, Santa Claus. We'll see you in a minute.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Justin.
We would just like to wish you a very happy holiday from your CBD store, Claremont.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
.50 West now pre-leasing 28,900 square feet of commercial, professional office space in Claremont. Conveniently located on Highway 50, less than 2 miles from the Turnpike. A first of its kind in the Southeast, this pristine building creates the perfect blend of nature and modern design. If you seek a high-level image that matches your business, reserve your space today. 50 West, unique, quality, Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Pun at 407-403-4165, Karen Arlano at 407-948-0767, or visit lease@50west.com.
Hello, my name is Michael Singh with Singh Insurance and Financial Services. Our goal is to build trust based on a clear understanding of how your insurance policy protects you, your family, and even your business. When was the last time you took a good hard look at your insurance coverage. Would you be open to the possibility of reviewing your policy with me? One review of your policy can save you valuable time and money. Call me today to set up a review of what may be available to you.
"50 West" now pre-leasing 28,900 square feet of commercial, professional office space in Claremont. Conveniently located on Highway 50, less than 2 miles from the Turnpike. A first of its kind in the Southeast, this pristine building creates the perfect blend of nature and modern design. If you seek a high-level image that matches your business, reserve your space today. 50 West, unique, quality, Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Punn at 407-403-4165, Karen Arlano at 407-948-0767, or visit lease@50west.com.
Are you tired of having drugs or alcohol ruin your life? Do you need to get off pain pills but still maintain pain relief? My office in Tavares has programs to help you. While not covered by insurance, program fees are affordable. My name is Alan Zupkin. I'm board certified and have helped thousands of patients achieve these goals. Please call me for further information.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. And welcome back. Once again, love to hear from my sponsors. Not going to talk a lot about that because my dear friend is with us. He has carved out some time. He's very busy this time of year. Santa, thank you for finding time for us today.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful being with you and all your friends on the TV screen, too. Hello out there. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Santa, you really busy, right? I mean, you're ramping up. You're days away at this point, right?
Oh, yes. My elves are working so hard. They're so diligent. They're working about 23 out of the 24 hours a day. Oh.
We've got our Christmas countdown says you only have 6 days, 13 hours, 36 minutes, and about 10 seconds. So I'm sure you're counting down to the moment too, right?
Don't remind me.
You have this is a Joe question. Do you have a nice vacation scheduled for the backside?
Oh, yeah. Me and Mrs. Claus, we look forward to taking a trip down to the warm Caribbean. And soaking in the water and just putting our feet in that beautiful Caribbean sand. And,
man, a lot of people escape the winter that time of year for that.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to get right into the questions. And so here we go. I really want to say thank you to all the kids who came out and gave us questions. You know, this was something that came together at the last minute for us. And so I really want to appreciate you. And I want to appreciate all the moms and dads that took the time to type and send them to me. So our first question, Santa, comes from a lovely young lady named Amelia. She's 5 years old, and she wants to know, how do you drive your sleigh?
Oh, Amelia, dear, that is very magical. I thought everyone knew that. It's a matter of I touch my nose and up we go. But long ago, myself and our elves discovered a special formula of magical reindeer food which makes reindeer fly. The reindeer eat this food all year long. It gives them enough magic to fly around the world. The magical mushrooms and special reindeer lichen are found only where Santa lives up in the North Pole.
Man, I'm glad we're recording this. So you drive your sleigh by magic. It's neat to find out how the reindeer do. Wiley, who is 3, wants to know: have you ever been so busy you got confused and mixed up presents?
Oh, Wiley. Yes, I remember one instance in there very well where I got a pair of Daddy's work boots were given to a mommy. And I gave a whistle to a guitar player. So yes, Wiley, Santa does get confused at times, and things get misappropriated. But in the end, it all works out.
Yeah, we all get confused sometimes, don't we, Santa?
We have a very satisfied clientele. Yes.
So let me ask you something, Santa. When that happens, how do you make up for it? Do you just trust that the mommies and daddies who are helpers can make it work, or
Yes, indeed. Yes, we have a very, very nice bunch of people that we go all around the world with, and they understand. Poor Santa's under a lot of stress,
a lot of pressure.
He's trying to make everybody happy and trying to bring in the joy of the season. And so, yes, this happens, but yes, they do compensate for what Santa loses at times.
You know, Santa, I want to say that you are the example and a mentor of many of us, because you know how to build a network. We talk about accomplishing business through networking. You are the king of building networks. All those mom and dads around the world. Okay, from Chase, who's 9 years old, how do you go to every single house and every single kid in the world in 24 hours?
Oh, that's a secret I cannot tell, but Santa's elves undoubtedly do the most spectacular research and development on this planet. We have worked a way of warping space-time, allowing the sleigh to sit in a small bubble of space that itself moves. It could travel faster than light, but it all involves a powered sleigh.
Wow. Proprietary technology. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Research and development.
Research and development. Look, everybody's got to, I want to tell the kids that, that's kind of a mom and dad word, but it really kind of means you always have to be learning. And even as old as Santa or Mr. Joe is, we're always trying to learn something new and how to be better people, how to do what we do in a better way. And we really appreciate that, Santa.
Yes.
Okay, from Pepper, age 7. How do you go from rooftop to rooftop?
Oh, well, Pepper, all I can really tell you about that is my reindeer, starting with Rudolph with his shining red nose. They jump. They jump with that magical dust I spoke to you about with Amelia. And they go from roof to rooftop. I have very little say in trying to move them along. They know what we're doing. They know it's urgent. They know time is a factor. I've only got a scant 23 hours to get everybody's toys to them and get them satisfied. So Santa tries his best.
So the magical reindeer don't just fly, they hop, and they know when to move, huh?
Oh, they sure do.
That's great. Okay, so here's a question from Ellie, or Elle, I'm not sure how she pronounces it, age 5. How do you get into the homes that don't have chimneys here in Florida? And I might add to that, Santa, I have run into a couple of skeptical grown-ups who want to know that question.
That's my secret. I don't know if I should tell, but...
Can you give us a hint? Can you just give us a little hint?
Way of making this key fit to open our door. I have a magic key.
A magic key.
I use to get into homes and apartments and townhouses, condos, wherever my wonderful children are located. We can find them with that magical key. Don't even need a chimney. No,
So you just need a child in the house that needs a present.
Amen. Yes.
And the magic works on the lock. Well, that's great. That's great. I was going to ask you for that key for my business because I'm in real estate, but, I can't adhere to the whole child who needs a present thing. All right. I'm going to ask you one more question before we go to break and hear from our sponsors. Hayden, age 4, and Saxton, age 4, actually asked the same question. What is your favorite cookie?
I tell my children always, all the time, that I love a chocolate chip cookies. Not a little one that's made in the store. I want a homemade chocolate chip cookie with lots of chocolate. I need my energy. So when I come in that house or I come down that chimney, I look for a chip cookie and a glass of chocolate milk too. Whole milk made with chocolate.
Whole milk. You jumped ahead of me.
I have to watch my figure, Uncle Joe.
Yeah. We had somebody ask, do you like whole milk or 2%? So that question is answered. That question came from Holly of an undetermined age.
Yeah. Holly, Santa loves whole milk. He's got to keep his figure going.
That's great. Well, I tell you what, Santa, I know there are a lot of moms out there that suddenly, they're going to have to do some switch planning, realize they got to make some chocolate chip cookies on Christmas Eve.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Okay, Santa, you could stay with us for a few more minutes, right?
Sure, surely.
Okay, we're going to hear from our sponsors, and when we get back, we're going to continue asking Santa the questions that you sent in. See you in a minute. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors.
50 West, now pre-leasing 28,900 square feet of commercial, professional office space in Claremont. Conveniently located on Highway 50, less than 2 miles from the Turnpike. A first of its kind in the Southeast, this pristine building creates the perfect blend of nature and modern design. If you seek a high-level image that matches your business, reserve your space today. 50 West, unique, quality, Class A. For more information on leasing, contact Ashley Punn at 407-403-4165, Karen Arlano at 407-948-0767, or visit lease@50west.com.
Hello, I'm Mary Rhodes with the mortgage firm, your local mortgage lender. I've helped thousands of families achieve the dream of homeownership in Lake County, and I would love to help you. Please read our reviews and visit us at mortgagefirmpros.com.
Hello, my name is Michael Singh with Singh Insurance and Financial Services. Our goal is to build trust based on a clear understanding of how your insurance policy protects you, your family, and even your business. When was the last time you took a good hard look at your insurance coverage? Would you be open to the possibility of reviewing your policy with me? One review of your policy can save you valuable time and money. Call me today to set up a review of what may be available to you.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
I'm Justin.
We would just like to wish you a very happy holiday from your CBD store, Claremont.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors. Welcome back. I really super appreciate my sponsors, but we have Santa with us. He is still with us, and he has a very limited amount of time, so I'm not going to talk about the sponsors much. Santa, how are you? You doing okay?
Oh, doing wonderful, Joe. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the air with you this morning. It's a pleasure.
You know, Santa, I want to have a shout out. I know in my life, Mrs. Joe makes everything happen in my life, keeps me on track and keeps it. And I just want to do a shout out to Mrs. Claus. We're not going to bring her on the camera, but I know that she's probably there making sure you dot all your I's and cross all your T's so that the sleigh leaves on time. Am I right?
Oh, yes. She cracks a mighty whip, yes. Oh.
I know one of the greatest gifts I've ever had is my wife, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Okay. Moving on to the questions. Jeremy, age 6, asks, are you East Coast, Eastern Daylight Time, or West Coast, Pacific Time at the North Pole?
Jeremy, that's a good question. And actually, where we are located, we are on the West Coast time. So we are depending on where we're at, 3 to 6 hours in difference in time between, say, New York and the North Pole.
Wow.
So it just depends on where he's at. Where I start at the international date line in the Pacific Ocean, and I travel west, and I head towards the South Pacific of New Zealand and Australia. And then I make my way coming around the entire world till I circumvent everything, and I end up back home and go, whew, I can now put my feet up and take my boots off my feet and see I still got toes left.
I'm sure you have a big wall of clocks, though, telling you what time it is in each place, big cities in each time zone, right?
I start my rest for about those 24 to 48 hours before we start. So Mrs. Claus and the elves have to get everything packed for me and get the sled ready, make sure the reindeer are hooked up. So when I'm ready to leave, I just clap my hands and say, okay, onward, Rudolph, go!
Hop in. Okay, we have our next question comes from Tori, age 7. Do you know, I actually thought I was a very inquisitive child. I have never actually heard this question. I thought it was amazing. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, Tori, that is a very good question because I've never been asked that before. But let me tell you, yes, I do have brothers and sisters, but they remain very private. And some of them actually are even my helpers to help the elves in a directing type of capacity. My elves just really work. They're the laborers that follow through. But when you have the laborers, you still need people to direct what's going on. And Santa Claus is at the top of the chain, of course, so I'm total director of what happens up in the pole. But I delegate the authority down the line, of course. But yes, I do have brothers and sisters. They choose to remain private, and they are excellent helpers in what Mrs. Claus and I do.
Do you know, Santa, that actually makes me wonder, do you utilize some of your brothers, who I'm sure look a lot like you, to be Santas, like when in the malls and when Santas are out to, do you use some of those brothers just to kind of check on areas and see how kids are doing and come back and report to you?
I can't be in all the places, so they actually are my hands and helpers that go out to the malls and the different areas and present what Santa has to offer them. So, and bring our message to them, that we love them.
Megan, age 10, asked, what is your favorite hobby?
Oh, that is interesting. Boy, when he does have a little free time, which isn't much, I like to listen to music. I like classical music, and also like a little bit of jazz. I actually have dabbled in. I played the tenor saxophone at times too.
Great.
But I like reading as well, and playing games with the elves when I can give them a chance to take a rest.
That's really, really cool. How many elves do you have working for you? Comes from Keegan, age 5.
Oh, Keegan, wow, that's a good question. I think currently on the rolls we have 85,851 elves, and each one of those elves is required to make 4 toys a day, and they work 364 days out of the year, because obviously the 365th day is Santa's on his way, and they can take a big and rest. But yes, and at last count, we were servicing over 2 billion children around the world.
Wow. No wonder you needed 85,000 elves. Let me ask you this one from Jordan, age 8. What is the North Pole zip code?
Well, the North Pole zip code, Jordan, is 99705. And we are in an area code of 907 in case you ever wanted to try to call us up. And we're in a borough out of Fairbank, North Star. So it's kind of like a remote of Alaska, basically.
Wow. And out of Annabelle, age 8, I get, do you help make the presents?
Oh, that is interesting, Annabelle, because there are times when I do chip in occasionally and help them make some presents or help them redesign a toy that just is not working properly. But my trustworthy elves do most of the work making every one of those presents you eagerly await for me to bring to you.
Those elves must really love the kids too, huh, Santa?
Well, they sure do.
This is a question actually from Joe, me, out of that answer. Do you consider yourself a big elf? Or are you human?
I've been called a jolly old elf. When you get to be my age, yeah, you are old, but you can be jolly.
Okay, we're coming up to the end here, Santa. Joey, age 7, asks, can you get rid of Tricks because Dad says they make him crazy?
Yeah, unfortunately, they bother me as well, and Mrs. Claus. What I understand about these Tricks is they're slang in Caribbean politics, basically. And they're regarded as dishonest or self-serving, self-interest of people, and the use of underhanded methods, which is wrong, okay? And it's self-servicing, and it's contemptible, and it's full of empty promises. And Santa doesn't lead his life with empty promises, Joe, as you know.
I like that, Santa. So basically, unfortunately, you can't get rid of them, but you don't like them.
That's right. I was going to say, unfortunately, no. There will always be people that are like that, who say one thing and do something else, and it's just naughty people. They're on my naughty list, and that's why I got to carry that extra bag of coal around with me too. And these people especially would get the naughty list coal, a little lump of coal instead of a present.
So, Santa, last question comes from me. What do you want for Christmas, Santa?
I just want to see peace and love in this world. I just want to see the joy in these homes, and see that and actually, I want them to understand. I say this very, very honestly to them, that there is a reason for this season, okay? And they need to understand that I reach out and I'm just a servant and spreading the gospel of what the Lord Jesus has done for us. So I just want them to understand that He is the real reason for why we celebrate Christmas. And Santa is just an outreach of that as a servant.
Well, I appreciate that, Santa. And as we discussed a little earlier on the show, Joe feels that Christmas isn't about us. It's about those that we can love around us. Santa, thank you for joining us. I know you got to get back to work. We really, really appreciate you coming on. We're going to wrap up here, folks. I want to remind you that, if you know somebody that should be a guest on Joe Knows South Lake, let me know. I'm sure Jay has the information up by now. If you know somebody that should be branding their business, and you should be branding your business on Joe Knows South Lake, this is the place that you can directly be received by your customers in South Lake County. Finally, I will remind you that there is greatness inside you. And just like Santa has been using his greatness for hundreds of years to bring out the greatness in others, you can too. I dare you today, use your greatness to bring out the greatness in someone else. Exercise, especially at this time of year, a random act of kindness and spread a little Christmas cheer. Have a little bit of Christmas spirit. Bless somebody else. You won't regret it, and you may change somebody's life. This has been Joe Carlisle for Joe Knows South Lake. I really want to say thank you for joining me today. Merry Christmas. I will see you tomorrow, and I love you. Bye-bye. My name is Joe. 20 years ago, my wife and I moved to Lake County with our 4 young children and settled down. In that time, we've worked, worshiped, played, and raised our family. Today, I've met the people and discovered the businesses and organizations that make up a vibrant, dynamic community. Join us as we share with you what makes South Lake great. I'm Joe, and Joe knows South Lake. Joe Knows South Lake would like to thank the following sponsors: